Welcome back, you wonderful people out there. We're getting ready for another game of Dota 2, Trent. It is wonderful action. Riyadh Masters 2023. And we got a good one. EG versus GG. Somebody's going to be saying GG. Will it be GG or EG?
It's good. It's good to have the number one team here at Riyadh Masters currently in Group A versus Gladiators. It's
God.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, 3-1 right now. EG, they are currently first in their group. This other lowly team with a 1-1 and 1-1 in their two games, leaving them currently at a 2-2 score. They're they're tied for third with Quest, but we'll see how these young upstarts can do versus evil geniuses.
True enough. Well, let's get into it a little bit because you are talking about the group stage, and we are in that second round of the group stage, which you can see right in front of us, round robin. 8 teams in each top 4 go through immediately into the upper bracket. Then that 5th and 6th spot are going to be in the lower bracket, and finally we're going to be losing 2 more teams from each group. Right now, that would be 9 Pandas, OG, Tundra, and Team Secret, but still a lot of games still to be played over the next couple of days. And of course, you can see right here that those are those 16 teams that are all playing it out right now. And they're all playing for something as well. That something is going to be a hell of a lot of money. Look at that. $5 million going to the top team. We've already eliminated some. I think that if they're knocked out at this phase, is it $100,000? Am I right on that?
That sounds about right. I remember that it went pretty far down. You just keep scrolling, and there's still lots of digits, as I recall, in the prize distribution. So, yeah, they're having a good time.
Well, we're going to figure out what indeed is going to happen all throughout today because, again, the 22nd, we've got all of our matches up here. First, EG versus Gladiators. We're going to be taking a look at Aster versus Talon after that, and then we're going to have the lovely lads. I think it's still Gareth and Waga that are coming in, right, to cover the Gladiators quest and then the Tundra and Team Aster games at the end. So, Trent...
Yeah.
After all is said and done, when we look at these things, how was your Friday? How'd you do?
Great. Yeah, I had a great Friday. Thanks.
Oh, good.
We cast some Dota. There's insane thunderstorms along a lot of the East Coast has been happening of the North Americas. So hopefully I'll be here for the whole series. That's my goal, is to be here for both series, ideally. It is still wild and out here. It's a storm out here, much like this storm of Dota that we are sifting through here.
Okay, I like that. I will tell you right now that my PC just tried to restart for some reason.
Good.
Because usually they want to do it like early in the morning, and it's 2 a.m. right now, so it's like, you're not doing anything important, right? I'm like, get the hell out of here. I'm trying to cast. Leave me alone. No, it's exciting though. It's going to be some freaking great games today, like it was yesterday, and like you talked about there. So EG versus Gladiators, these are 2 squads. I think everybody should collectively remember this moment when evil geniuses are first in the group, and like remember back to just a couple weeks ago, everybody's like, "Oh, EG are washed. Oh, EG, they're never going to do anything again. EG, they're out of here. They need to disband." No, Matthew is just sick in Bali. Get over it, y'all. Chill a little bit. My goodness.
That's a pretty good point, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's all I got to say. I was getting a little bit frustrated with folks, but it's fine.
I'd like to see a little bit of the Matthew sauce today. He's a very saucy player. He brings out the good heroes every once in a while. I want to see him being feisty. I want to see him hunting couriers. I want to see some roaming around your jungle on some hero, trying to pick people off. You got to really take it to these gaming gladiators guys, because I guess they're like the best team in the world. Once they won like 5 tournaments, everyone's like, okay, fine, you guys are good. So they're trying to do it again.
Well, and what's interesting is that a lot of them are very beloved, but Quinn has gone into his villain arc a little bit recently, which has been fun to watch.
It's a villain parabola. It comes and goes,
Exactly. No, totally. Yeah. As it does oftentimes with polarizing figures. You love it, you hate it. And he has, a message for all of those that feel one way, and we know what it is. And I'm not going to repeat it here on broadcast, but we are going to be getting into the game number 1, Evil Geniuses versus Gaming Gladiators. The Brood Mama banned out. You don't want to see the spider. Arachnophobia was a terrible, but it's a good decision in 2.
There's actually 3 heroes that have been picked or banned more than Broodmother in this tournament.
Really?
Yes. Those 3 heroes are Snapfire, Undying, and Rubik.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, keep in mind, those are mostly picks for those heroes, short of Undying. Undying also has 63 bans, Brood's at 64. But we're just seeing a lot of Snap and a lot of Rubik. Rubik's the most picked hero, 57 games so far here, 47% win rate. Snapfire, 45 picks, 53% win rate. She is just winning. She's looking great for the second most picked. Yeah. And then, of course, when you go to your other, you know what's crazy is that, okay, so it's the most picked is Rubik and Snap, 57, 45. The next most picked after 45 is 27 at Batrider. And then Timber saw at 25. And then everyone else just chills in the 20s. But it is crazy that it's almost a 30-pick gap, a 20-pick gap between the third most picked and the second most picked.
Yeah, that is nuts. Actually, when I was looking at it, I had slightly different stats, but I think that's because I'm not doing it. I'm including the qualifiers in mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is one of those things that's kind of insane, like how much it's been played. And how much success it's still managed to have. So we are seeing the Undying get through. So even though it's not picked a ton, when it is let through, people tend to come up with pretty good answers to it. But Evil Geniuses still wanting to run with it themselves. And then, of course, Gaming Gladiators. I don't think they had the Undying last time when they played this. But they picked Enchantress Beastmaster the other day, and it looked really good. I'm curious if they want to run the same thing again.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them. It's, they did lose that game, I guess, to Spirit, but that was also a game where we definitely did not think they were going to lose.
Right. Yeah, they are going to be regretting that.
Yeah, that was a little painful. But, that was their warm-up game, warm-up series, I suppose. Second match of the tournament. Then they went 1-1 with LGD after that a few hours later, so. But they got the third most picked. We're bringing out the bat.
Interesting. Yeah, that is a pickup there. So this is EG's actually first game playing Undying in this tournament. It's either been banned by them in the first phase or been banned by their opponents in the first phase. So they're finally opting to actually take it. I always feel like when you get bans that I almost feel like they're a bit of holdovers from before. I don't know if I love it, but this is EG's been running a ton is the first phase Legion.
Yeah, she has she is. We were talking about this yesterday, actually, because we didn't get any Legion Commander games. But when we were looking at the overall highest pub stats right now, Legion is dominating. She's one of the most picked heroes, and she's at a 54% win rate, and it just keeps, which is extremely high when you're being. She definitely has some great counters in versus, which would be basically 1-8. There was a game yesterday with Arteezy's Naga Siren. You may have seen a certain image posted that said, I didn't know they moved Arteezy to support subreddit. Because he started extremely poor in this game, and it was because they tried to counter a Broodmother Siren. And that was answered back by this Legion Commander. And although the Naga Siren attempted to chase the Broodmother to whichever lane the Broodmother tried to go, they would just rotate Pure's Legion Commander instead and just chase after this Naga. And he did not get to play any Dota. It was a bit of a sad sight to start that game.
Damn. That's pretty crazy. I like that, though. It's a good answer. So the thing about this is that when I'm sort of looking through the heroes that have been, or the teams that have been playing Legion, it looks like Entity picked it in the early days. There's been it's been a lot of different people that have messed around with the idea, but I think EG is the one that's playing it the most. They have 3 games on it so far, and I think that they've won all of them. I need to double check that. But regardless, it's this hero that's been having a pretty good win rate and seems great against the bat. But now we're getting into the next phase. The Pango ban, the Ember ban, taking those mids out of the pool. Clinks, interestingly enough, can be kind of annoying to play against the Enchantress, I guess.
What's interesting here too is the bat issue for Game Gladiators. I mean, personally, I think their bat has looked fantastic when they've given it to Celery. I think he looks absolutely insane on it. And then it usually leaves more open for Tofu. But when you open the Ench and the Bat Rider, it's very likely this will probably be a Tofu bat. You know, obviously it could go to a core role, and that's part of the power of the hero right now. Right. But this support bat has just been looking so ridiculous. It almost feels like, unless it's a crazy good counter pick, you almost just want to keep it a support. You know, they have not been opting for a lot of core bat on the side of Gaming Gladiators lately.
No, I feel like we've been seeing it much more often. Like we had Boxy playing it the other day too, I think, in one of the games we cast.
Yeah.
They do ban out the Oracle, which again, it kind of just makes sense. And then you also would have the problem then of EG having 3 save heroes, basically, right? You got the Tombstone, you got the Press the Attack, and then all of Oracle's shenanigans.
Dude, ban the Darkseer. Don't let it happen. So? Yeah, 100%. This is a Darkseer setup. This is the bait. You're just like, oh, they're banning Oracle. I mean, to be fair, Oracle's also okay versus Beastmaster because you have like damage versus the boars, but they play a ton of Bat Rider Darkseer.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ace does love that hero. They will have the first phase out of it. I mean, the one problem that you do have is already having Undying on the side of Evil Geniuses. If they do take a Darkseer right now, Ichi could just Bloodseeker, or like... All right, yeah, they banned the Bloodseeker. All right, so they're going to Darkseer.
yeah, the Darkseer player knows.
Yeah.
Oh, they could just Bloodseeker. Oh, God, no. Here he comes.
All right, so we have to go into our little carry bag of tricks. Interesting. So now they have Bat Darkseer. I think that you got to take your carry in this next 2 for EG. And there are a couple of heroes that kind of make an annoying situation in the laning stage, but a lot of them end up being bad in game, and this is one of them. Morphling can deal with this in the laning stage, but he does get countered late game, so they're just going to try and shut down the lanes mega hard, I think.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out in chat to Shy Dagger, who just said, someone pick Weaver, please. Which is funny because Weaver is statistically the worst hero. The worst hero for Darkseer to face in pubs overall. It is his worst matchup. Well, of course, we never see the hero. So, you know, Shy Dagger, you're onto something. All right, you got some smarts there.
Dude, I hate playing against Weaver. It's the worst thing ever.
Is it just the bugs?
He just Sakuchis at you. You have to just like run away, and it's like if he gets on top of you, you have to run away, which means you have to quit Surge, and
he has Surge bad, too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
True.
Okay.
It's so Morphling, not the nuclear option, I guess, of the anti-mage either, but I mean, all those heroes have the same issue, like you're saying, where like once the wall comes out, it's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
We have not been seeing a lot of Morphling since the nerfs, so it's a bit of a surprise here for us. And oh, speaking of nerfs,
whoa,
hey-o, it's Mercy. She still exists. You definitely need the extra levels for the rebound. That's definitely the big nerf. I'm sure if any of you have tried to play Mercy after, it feels kind of bad. We started seeing a lot of core Mercy for a while since you got more levels and felt easier, but this is very likely going to be for Matthew. And I mean, it's what I want. I want some sauce. This is saucy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process is here entirely, if I'm going to be honest. This draft definitely feels kind of crazy. You picked 3 melee heroes and a Morphling into Darkseer. Like,
I think I know it is really good versus Ench, obviously. Like both core and support, I would say, because like you have some tools versus the support Ench. You have high mobility; she can't like chase you that hard. And then if you have your ulti, you can actually just punch them. That's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
And sidekick with Morphling and Legion is also pretty good. But I mean, I'm kind of with you. There's nothing like stellar on the EG lineup in terms of just like, oh, this looks perfect, and then you look at Game Gladiators and you're just like, oh god. I don't want to fight any of these heroes. And they have so much flexibility still on the side of Game Gladiators with this Bat Rider and Templar as to where it's going to go. Like, it locks you out of certain matchups in the mid lane for EG, even though we play all these TAs in the safe lane, it still is going to reduce your choices because there's always the option that Quinn just takes it. Right. So.
Absolutely. Well, I'm curious what they're going to run with this. And also, like, the thing that sort of feels strange about in particular for EG, or rather for Gaming Gladiators, that I'm kind of noticing is that there isn't that big vacuum pairing right now. It feels like they're trying to play a lot more around Surge and Ion Shell, but then they also have this TA. So it's mainly just, I guess, the Bat that they're going to be playing around and trying to use him to burn people down and take stacks and just get bigger eventually.
That's funny. I was also just thinking about how they don't have any dual pairings for EG. Yeah. So both of these potential offlaner heroes, assuming that's where Legion winds up and doesn't wind up mid, which, I mean, obviously Legion very much can go to the mid lane currently, so that's certainly a possibility. Yeah. There is definitely not a lot of help for some of the bigger spells of those two heroes.
Right. This is going to be a fun game. I think EG are going to get out to like a quick lead, and then Gaming Gladiators mid game is going to be insane. But I don't know. This Marcy's throwing me off too. Like, what are we going to see with this? I'm feeling like it's probably a Matthew hero.
Yeah. But it could be off lane. I mean, theoretically, if they shift the Legion commander, it definitely could be. But I think it's probably just 4.
Evilgeniuses turn to pick.
They banned the Viper and the Death Prophet. A couple of nasty green heroes.
Yeah, don't want to see the green. Interesting. Evilgeniuses. They spent a lot of time on that Marcy pick, have taken out some of these mids that can pair together really well in the team fight combos. Now for their last pick, I don't even know what I really want from them. Maybe like some low-cost initiation. They're kind of committal right now with the way that they run it. Sort of like where the Ember would fit well.
I don't know. This is a bit of a weird one. And then, yeah, but you can't get hardcore counterpicked either.
Right. Yeah, no. I mean,
so it has to be like
anyway.
somewhat safe. Yeah, that's true. But it has to be like somewhat of a safe pick, but also...
DK
has to answer a lot of questions. I know, that's the guy who stands out, isn't it?
It's also bad against Darkseer, I think. He creates some freaking huge dragon illusions. I mean, being big and tanky is nice against him, though. But
Pango's banned too. Oh, wow, they actually played Bounty Hunter? Damn, and we missed it.
Oh.
Okay. That kind of fits the bill. That's pretty solid. It definitely fills up some of the gaps that they had. Because someone has to go in first here. Marcy can sort of go in first, but it's not the most successful all the time. So it's like Marcy and Prime will hop in first, and then Legion wants that follow-up, like, perfect duel. She can see it.
Dude, give me the Dyrachyo punch.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? The big boy?
I'm down. Actually, I don't know. He might just die. They could also, like, Faceless if they wanted to, maybe here.
I assume... All right, the Bat definitely wants to be support because the whole Legion Commander matchup thing. So I don't think you want to do any weird flex. So yeah, I think we're just getting a Quinn hero.
Okay.
That seems to make the most sense. Ooh, the Monkey King. Okay, we got some funk here. I assumed, yeah, Dyrachyo takes that, Quinn takes the TA, and then, yeah, what do you do on EG now? Who do you send mid? All right, they're giving Seek out the Primal Beast. Okay.
Okay.
It's got funky at the end. I like it. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about a Monkey King maybe for EG before they took the Morphling. I thought at that point that it kind of looked nice for them, especially with how they play with Matthew, that like Monkey King could have set up really nicely with the Legion Commander too, but I guess maybe they feel like Monkey King... I mean, it is versus Batrider, so maybe then if they had shifted the Batrider core, it would have been a little bit worse. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a really interesting one. Yeah. Monkey King definitely feels like, I mean, again, you have 4 melee heroes in Morphlane, and now you have Monkey King Darkseer, right? Like the area control is insane. The question is, of course, like how good are the lanes now for EG? Because when I looked at it at the start, that's really what the Morphlane idea is against Darkseer, is that you just deny every creep away from him. But if that doesn't happen, I don't know. I'm a little, if they win that lane but don't win the other lanes, then it kind of doesn't matter that much, and Darkseer can catch back up later. I feel like gaming probably have this unless there's some other weird thing that goes on. Marcy's the X factor for me. How much can C Smile and Matthew get done?
Yeah, I feel like they gotta be like
important.
They gotta be like a crazy duo for sure. It's like hopping all over the map together.
True.
I also with like Ace and Tofu, are they just gonna pull the creep waves? Like how are they gonna stop and dying?
Yeah. That is one nice thing about Marcy, I guess, is that you can rebound onto the creeps to sort of get the stun and body block them, and then you can't like pull it all the way behind the tower. There's some things you can do to mess them up with that, or even just dispose. So could be some cool tech. Oh, interested to see it.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm definitely favoring Game of Gladiators here. Just draft wise, for sure. Just seems a lot simpler. Like their game plan is. I mean, to be fair, it also has some very obvious points where it's like, oh, they're gonna be going for a Roche at this timing, and like the Darkseer's gonna be trying to pull these waves, and he's gonna want to farm bottom for a long time. And we see this classic play with the Bat Rider too, where they're always looking to. Like farm up for a while before they really do a whole lot, because you're kind of useless early. You don't do a whole lot. You know, I shouldn't say useless. They make these insane plays where they have this like crazy damage early that's you don't really suspect, but really once you get into like the first item, that's when it goes a little bit nutso. Here as Tofu does escape from a entire squad of EG here.
Yep, Pakas is down bottom. Celery and Ace trying to maybe get a rune for himself eventually. See Smile making the move over. Didn't quite get in range for that tower to reveal the ward. I think that he was thinking about going over a little closer. Cutting all the trees. Okay, interesting. There's definitely a ward there. So he's helping their ward.
It's just so he won't jump on them later.
Right, that makes sense. I wonder if he was cutting those to try and make them think that he had placed a ward on that high ground, because he knows that that ward gets more vision. Uh-oh. Turn. Duraccio, he's hitting hard. Matthew, dispose for the first blood.
The fairy fire.
Unbelievable. He's not going down. Matthew survives. That's crazy. That's an insane play. Oh, is he going to go deny to the tower?
Oh, he's good.
So
this
smart.
guy's good.
This guy's so smart.
Wait. A little bit more
dun, 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 dun.
Look at him. Gets the perfect timing gold for the sentry too. Just beautiful stuff right there.
Whisper, though, he's going to pay the price. This is the problem. You commit so much, and now your lane is, like, absolutely wrecked.
Bro, why did you do suicide too? Like, what are you doing?
That is unfortunate for Whisper.
Bat Rider, Monkey King. This is disgusting.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, down bottom is not going to be easy for Ace. This is going to be a very difficult game for the old DS. But you can see Whisper still getting something for himself over here.
Dude, they do this so nicely to his celery on this edge. When he plays in this lane. Yeah, their laning's so fluid, you know? Like, they're so good with their multiple pairings. It's funny because they used to have this, like, Ace and Tofu used to, like, dual queue all the time, right? And now I feel like I see Celery in the lane with Ace more than even Tofu. Right. Whenever Celery gets his edge, it feels like he just has so much more freedom to work with down here. And the value side.
Wow.
He did it again?
Dude. Duraccio goes down. That is huge. 0-2 on Duraccio. He will have a TP when he comes back up, though.
I love how this is just a level 1 Mercy. Like, she's just disposing. That's it.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. But you're going to...
out of the way early.
Yeah, exactly.
Those deaths.
You got to get them taken care of. We are seeing down bottom, though, the problem. And actually, I mean... Like I said, they found a way to make this lane up here work. The bottom lane was always going to be pretty bad for Gaming Gladiators, even though they can find some things for themselves every now and then. As C-Smile takes a lot of damage from Quinn. Some of those side blades coming through.
Yeah, Ace just not having the damage to contend with the glorious Morphling.
Right.
Or even getting hopped on with the decays. A little bit close there. But hey, I got heals. It's fine.
True. Yeah, I mean, coming out in a pretty good position across all three of their lanes are EG.
Oh, he missed the sentry too. He didn't unblock the camp. That is unfortunate. As
Win.
C Smile continues to take a lot of damage. That was so close.
Up top, the big battle. Going after it. Looking for Dyrachyo again. Almost have enough, but they didn't have another overwhelming odds. He did get the Jingu up, so he's going to be able to regen. Well, never mind. They go back in and manage to take him out. Dyrachyo, I didn't think there was going to be a kill, but he just walked back in, and Dyrachyo didn't walk away from the overwhelming odds.
Yo, dude, Patrick's getting owned. Meanwhile, C-Smile's catching Psyblades mid and almost dying. Like, I also went back mid. It's like, dude, he's going to die. Like, he's getting Psybladed on the high ground.
The jump away. Yeah, this is a very contentious. Like the problem too is that like for EG, I think they really need this to happen. They need to be finding these kills and kind of shutting down Gaming Gladiators because their mid game it's going to be scary.
And Ace does have 2 points in the Iron Shell now, which is where you can actually do quite a bit more on this hero. Feels much more powerful. The other big thing is the levels coming up on Celery too, obviously. The heal as well as the creep. Really, them missing that D ward hurt. Jeez.
Oh, Tofu! Oh, what happened? Oh, the play! Tofu! Broke and burned his ankles. Holy moly.
Oh, all 4 of them. Just those ankles, they're just all going down.
Well, that was what you want to see from Tofu. Matthew has to walk back home. Gaming Gladiators, they're making it work. I mean, Pakas is still crazy farmed, but Quinn is winning mid now. Dyrachyo, in spite of his deaths, 16 and 10, it's not bad. Like, he's getting a lot of denies. See how it goes.
This bottom lane is just like, I feel like you could just rewatch this entire bottom lane. It's like a little mini story. It's like an entire arc happening down here between like the D wards battling between Panda and Celery, trying to get these camps opened up, trying to utilize all the different creeps. Meanwhile, you got Ace and and these clowns are just fighting on the other lanes. We're trying to have intelligent Dota.
Trying to get him. He gets him. After he goes down the turn, overwhelming odds, can't go for it. Tofu's going to connect that one up too.
There are 2 wolves inside of you, you know? There's the top lane and the bottom lane. There's cool, calculated, and there's just like MVP caveman Dota.
Oh, it's true. They just do run at each other, and that works well. That's what you want to see. Man. Tofu heads on in, retakes that Watcher. Gonna find C-Smile, who he's almost on par in levels with, and I mean running. Oh my god, he broke him! He broke him!
Yup.
Oh, Panda moving in, wanting to salvage this. C-Smile has to run away. Yo, Tofu on this Bat Rider. I mean, we saw Celery make something special of it. This dude is killing it too.
And of course, the Ench versus the Primal Beast. We have that enchant where you can stop the onslaught. So keep an eye on that one. Because you can just dispel the charge buff, because that's a thing. As we discussed the last time we had this hero.
Good move in with the Enchantress Quinn. Oh, got body blocked there by Celery, and now the run through coming from C-Smile. It's enough for the kill. I don't think that body block. I don't think that body block mattered, but it, Quinn will still tip him later.
I was gonna say, you can still say it did.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to keep up the ego of your mid players. It's never their fault. Matthew getting the rundown here. Uh-oh. Yep. Whoa! Where you going to go? Help me, Whisper.
He has a rebound. Just saving that rebound to try and go for the finish. Make sure that they have a way to connect for the kill, and they're going to punish Tofu for all his movements around the map here and ensure that they get their Wisdom Rune. Bacchus. Down bottom.
Dude, what a come up here from Ace.
Yeah.
38 CS. He's within 5 now of the Morphling. After a very difficult start. And I know that every Dark Series player's favorite thing is hitting 6 versus these Agi heroes. Is he dead? Oh, man. If he had a little more mana.
Yeah. I think that they're trying to not scare him because they're bringing through Dyrachyo. They go all in on Panda, actually. I
like
mean,
how
this
he's not
is
even microing the illusion.
yeah.
This isn't warmed up yet, you know.
I like that play a lot, because again, like killing the Morphling is going for the all-in. Killing the Undying is slowly building your lead up. As mid, they're gonna find Quinn. He goes for the tower, gets it, dispose, turns, decides to fight him all with the duel, and bringing 4. It's a second death for Quinn.
Yeah, a lot of heroes maybe not so happy about that kind of a rotation. Legion, obviously, very pleased. Well, permanent bonus there. As Tofu just wants to harass some of this DD. Shouldn't be a kill, one would think. That would be kind of crazy. Well, it could be a kill the other way, because there's still 4 heroes here, my friend.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Don't give up.
So this does come back to walling that Undying down bottom, though, because it kicked the Morphling completely out. The Undying couldn't stay and soak any XP or just like pull the waves off the tower or anything like that. Ace eventually makes his way back here, and this whole lane became forfeit the second Ace hit 6. So this is, you know, sure, it was good in the lane in terms of getting some farm for the Morphling itself, but now this is just a situation where Ace is going to go relatively unchecked for a while. I think it's going to be hard to grab there. Well, speaking of grabs, though, Matthew's way over here right now.
Yeah.
You got a D ward.
What's
this
he
is
doing?
not Bounty Hunter, sir.
The hell is this guy doing?
Yeah,
all right.
He's jet lagged.
Okay.
Coming from SA, so he didn't realize it was 9 minutes. Checking for a wisdom rune, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
I guess just trying to get that. Oh, you know what it is? They're trying to block out that camp so that way they can see if Darkseer goes to farm it up. Because that camp you love to hit up a bunch. Tofu? Oh, couldn't quite get onto him. If that stun hits, they probably get him. Instead, they're going to go down bottom onto Ace. Smile. Tries to catch him. The pulverize. It's at the ready. But immediately broken by Duraccio. Well played.
Well, and Tombstone drop, too.
Yeah. Oh,
interesting how they have Duraccio just farming behind Ace for a while here. It's like a little tandem where he's just kind of lurking nearby, and that fully prevents any deaths on the Ace. And then they leave those bottom camps for Duraccio. Ace rotates back up to these slightly safer ones, but overall they're both just happy to continue farming.
Mm-hmm. Well, 7-6, a 2,000 gold lead. Paka still the top net worth in the game right now is Celery. I'm convinced that this is part of why Celery is so good at what he does. He just comes and takes away some of the stacks, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice little way to just like chip away at your opponent's farm.
Whenever they play Dire Side for G.Gladiators, Celery and Tofu just live in this area. They come into the Radiant Ancient camp constantly. They have no fear about it, and they always seem to get away with it too.
Yeah.
And they're always, they never leave it as like a safe haven for you to farm into. And I don't think it's as easy to do on the other side. Like, I wouldn't say that many teams do it from Radiant to Dire, and I wouldn't even say that G.Gladiators have a lot of success like focusing effort on the other map. It just seems like this one feels a little bit more vulnerable.
Right.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, EG bringing numbers again. You can see the way that Gaming Gladiators are spread out. They're getting a lot out of the map right now, and they might even still try and come to contest this tower. It seems unlikely, though. Quinn, well, wait. Quinn just TP'd, but then he hit an illusion rune. Quinn canceled the CP. All right, they are not going to defend this. In fact, Celery is going to maybe die. No. Turn. Whisper. In trouble. Oh, and now the lasso pulls in Marsky and gets the kill. Even though Quinn messed up his TP, they still make this work. Overwhelming odds, the runaway. Z-Smile goes back in. They find the kill onto Celery. Just like that, they're out. Are they?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Gone, I think.
Z-Smile. Press the attack. Running. Didn't get the pushback. They'll kill Panda.
Nice try.
No seed shots to help out there. The War Pines. Instant smoke. Gracio wants to keep chasing a bit here. He is sped up now by the speed aura.
Oh, big.
Go.
Good cut. That kept him alive. Matthew in a world of hurt. Can't quite get in range for a dispose. Ends up tying to neutrals. Well done.
Oh, they save. Well, everyone else escapes too. And yeah, here they are back in their home, which they own. So aggressive with this Monkey King. I love the early Echo Saber. Boo Battle Fury on this hero. Just give me Monkey King forever with no Battle Fury. We should have one of those hard-coded exceptions where it's just no Battle Furies. I say we just remove the item for Monkey King for like 2 weeks and let's just see what happens to the win rate. Because I'm convinced it goes up.
I'm convinced nobody would play Monkey King in pubs anymore.
I mean, I just see that as a win-win.
That's a fair point. Nothing of value was lost.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Gaming Gladiators steal the stack, continue to slowly build up this lead. And the top heroes are still the top net worths, but I don't think this Morphling is the same indomitable carry that it used to be. Those nerfs have definitely hurt him a lot. It's going to be hard to just solo carry this game.
I was a little surprised, I gotta say, by the nerfs. I thought that they would just straight up remove all of the stats stolen. I thought that maybe this would be still too powerful, but it seems, I mean, certainly it doesn't appear that way, at least in the eyes of a lot of the pro teams, because he has fallen a lot. He's obviously no longer in the first phase of picks and bans, so I'll be curious to see if he has another rise here, because I still think the hero's extremely strong. I think the fact that his laning stage is still the way that it is, it's just always going to make him good. It's so hard to actually bully him out of the lane because it's just the way that attribute shift works and how much control you can get over last hitting and the inability to actually push him out. So I'm still a Morphling believer for sure.
In this game you are as well?
Celery. Yeah, in this game too, I think. I mean, I don't know if he's going to win, but I still think it's a good hero. Like, I still think that
I hear you.
Like, life's still pretty good here.
Yeah.
Back to the Monkey King, though. I think that what's really interesting about the Monkey King this game, too, is that being able to go for this Echo Saber style build because you have a TA mid.
Ooh.
You know, a TA mid is having a great time.
Yeah, really good time, definitely. Dispose, they've been pushed all over the place, but they end up getting the dual win at the end. Ace just not, only the 1 point in vacuum at this stage. It's not really where he needs to be to fight.
I guess that's the message, isn't it? He's like, I don't really want to fight, guys.
Yeah.
4 points in Surge.
Right.
It's not often I'm surging towards the enemy, you know? Just going the other way right now.
Well, almost 16 minutes in, and those kills are really important. Getting Legion to scale would be nice, but only 28 dual damage so far.
It's hard to stack them up early, feels like.
Yeah.
Does have the talent now, though, so the big thing is kind of like when you have the talent and then you get level 12, that starts to feel a little bit better. Level 1, no talent, only 10, is I gotta say, it's a little bit rough. I mean, I know the hero's kind of broken right now, but I wouldn't mind buffing that part and removing some other stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like a real win, you know?
Oh, Whisper.
Mail. Get him.
Oh, he wanted to go for the all-in. Wait a minute, they maybe still can. Gonna have dual blink up in a second. They find it onto Ace. That is exactly what they were not looking for.
Way.
Oh my God, they're all gone! Oh no! Oh my goodness, Duraccio, have mercy! What a freaking turnaround! Oh,
And, ladies and gentlemen, that is without a Battle Fury. Let me just add. I actually don't understand. How did that deal so much damage? That was just Ion Shell. That
my God!
Everything was just working. There was some slices and dices coming in there. People were getting hit by Psyblades. It was like, it was just the dream.
You know what that was? That was 4 melee heroes and Morphling against a Darkseer. Darkseer Monkey King.
Is that it? Is the game just over? Did it just end?
I think.
Like, was that all their momentum just completely stalled?
Yeah, a little bit.
That was shocking. Like, it looked so good. You're like, ow. I mean, they're all on top of him. This guy's just gonna die. But they were really on top of that Ion Shell. Oh my goodness.
No, it's pretty devastating. I think that there is a big problem. Oh my God, they find Duraccio though. If it turns into team fights, I don't think they can win anymore.
Gotta be.
Oh my god.
Not again.
Oh my
Not
god.
again.
Not one more time. Yes, it is going to be one more time. Just once at waveform. Oh man, that side kick. That saved the day right there. If not for that, it's over. But maybe Paka is still in some trouble. Gets the replicate, gets the refraction, tries to back away. They're still doing a lot of damage, but he gets another waveform off. Okay, EG pulling things together. There's no Dyrachyo here. No Wukong's command. They turn now onto Quinn. Whisper with the save. Oh, the back and forth action that comes out from these two teams. It's pretty to watch. Teammates Clark, they send him forward. Celery now supposed to send you forward. A little misclick. He does a 360 no scope with the onslaught. And then manages to get out.
How can we have an equally ridiculous turn after something like that? I have no idea how I managed to survive. That was crazy teamwork to keep it going. And then it's this endless chase. It's just dogs after cars from both sides. Not exactly sure what they're after. When they get it, it doesn't usually end up to be a very good decision. And that just cut the lead in about half right there. That was almost a 4K-ish XP swing, 3K gold. A little bit ridiculous.
I love this game, man. It's so good.
I don't even know what's happening. Well, it's just the I mean, the heals and the saves coming out from Game Gladiators, and more so like the spacing and just chaos of this like dispose, rebound, onslaught, bumpity doodah that's happening. And soon we're gonna have BKBs mixed into this.
Right. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's when the fun stops.
yeah, 100%. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, but this, some fun. There's a tool.
You know what? This is the answer to BKBs. Gets him gone. Can't turn it around enough with that Darkseer. Good save to try and help him out, but yeah, that is the problem. If they find a dual target, normally I think it's Darkseer want a duel here. I feel like they maybe need to focus Monkey King every time, because if he gets that Wukong's off, it's over.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Especially like part of the problem should be forcing the fight in the Wukongs, though, you would think.
Right.
Because, you know, like you pointed out earlier, this whole idea of, like, the vacuum being there, like, there wasn't a lot of things to pair with the vacuum. And then eventually you do get this Wukong's command, but how do you actually keep them inside with all this high mobility that they have on the side of EG?
Right.
But, yeah, if they're stuck inside, it's Jover.
It's a problem. It's no bueno. All right, what's going to happen now? 13-13, 5K gold lead. Whisper, he's got to be the man this one. Got to find those targets. He almost has his BKB. I believe it's flying out right now, but it's Gaming Gladiators. They're going to run down bottom, take the Roche.
Yeah, this is what we discussed, like, walking out onto the map of this. There is one very clear timing that you're going to see from this side of GG. It's TA getting Aegis around this time, getting Deso, especially if you see this build, obviously. So they know Tovu's guarding the Twin Gate. They're scanning it, but not anything they can do about it. So they're going to have to contend with that. And this is the dream when you do the Blink Deso build, because now you have this Aegis. You don't have a defensive item, but your Aegis is your defensive item. So you're going to use that to advance the map state in favor of your team. Also, Tofu got this Blink, and we just had a couple of crazy fights, but for a long time, they didn't really get any like smoke plays around the map. It goes back to this idea of just being content with how the map was moving. And now he is very farmed compared to the other supports.
Right. Yeah, it's true. He has gotten a ton. He's almost caught up to the Primal. Are they going to be able to get anybody? Dyrachyo goes through the portal.
There's a sentry. There's a sentry. He's in the invis rune.
TPs. Walk forward. Duel. Got one. That's not good enough. When you get with the pulverize there, can they bring down Ace? The jump forward. Quinn almost dead. Oh, the back wall with the big boundless on top of all of it, but they don't quite have enough. They save him inside that tombstone. That's life number one. Panda trying to back away, but that's both supports dead. Aka's trying to back out. They have down now. The turn on Dyrachyo to pop that BKB waveforms through, and they keep themselves alive. So they will lose this tower. They lose two supports, but they burn the Aegis.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. I think that multiple tier 2s were in the cards there for Game Gladiators with this Aegis. And especially with how that fight started. That could have been a lot worse if they didn't have that sentry placed down, because it gave them a brief moment where they could position slightly better versus C-Smile before he blinked in on that Primal Beast. But Overall, I kind of feel like you take that as EG, like you said. Like, actually getting the Aegis feels kind of nice.
Well, and it does raise some interesting questions here. Like, Dyrachyo cancels his TP? Oh, no. Oh, that is not the way that was supposed to go. I guess that... I mean, they saw them head by that Watcher, I thought. Maybe they didn't. Matthew, vacuum, no follow-up. Tries to run away, gets the big turn with the dispose and the waveform through. Onslaught tries to find another target. They're going to be onto Celery and onto Quan and trying to take down Ace. Maybe target spread a bit too far, but in the end, EG out fighting them. I mean, somebody's just getting dueled at the start of these fights every time, and they don't have an answer for that on Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, that is true, considering how early it came out on this Legion, like this was going to be a Legion Commander game.
Right.
The only thing they can really count on is burning some of their big auras, like burning the Crimson Guard, burning the Guardian's Greaves. But that doesn't feel very good when you're focused it all into a single hero. You're trying to kind of, utilize that to its maximum potential in these big engagements. So, yeah, great grab there. And like you said, it was kind of a weird start, though.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know what happened, what they saw where he because he was TPing and then canceled the TP. So that part felt kind of strange. We saw in that graph there for a second too. It feels like it's this line that's sort of been trending the direction of Gaming Gladiators over and over again, and then somehow EG, through some like weird things happening, are like pulling it back into their favor a little bit. If everything's kind of set up and static, I think Gaming Gladiators are happy. And if EG can make stuff weird, that's when it feels like things start to go their favor a little bit more.
This is just the market. We're in a recession. This is a Gaming Gladiator recession. But eventually the line goes up.
I see.
I understand
Got
now.
it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, you did economics, right? Isn't that exactly what the market looks like? That's pretty close.
Yeah, sure.
Eventually
That's
it
real.
trends upwards.
Yeah,
Buy
sure.
real
Why not?
estate, guys. Buy property, all right? Eventually it goes up.
Apparently, this is financial advice hour. I'm not sure
Not
what's going
financial
on.
advice.
Okay, got it. I understand.
Unless I get something to shill. Anyone who needs something to shill, let me know.
Good. That's the way of it. Trent with the rebrand, finance guru.
Yeah, that sounds like, ooh, Whisper though. This guy knows how to invest. He's got a great healing Lotus. Went up there.
Oh, okay.
That's nice. Found quite a few lurking in the pool there. Cross the pond, as they say. That's what the phrase means, right?
True.
That's about right.
Very. Big Smoke. Looking for one. Lasso. Connects onto Matthew. That sidekick has been really a huge part of what's found success for EG. Because I think that when they're creating the Darkseer illusion, Morphline's life-stealing off of it more than like he normally would, because it's taking extra damage.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I think that that's what's been allowing them to sort of deal with these illusions a little bit more effectively.
They have a Legion offlane. The heals are just like level 1 Soul Rip, but mostly Lifesteal. I mean, Sidekick has been the heals that they've sustained their own crazy survivals through these fights. But they're starting to lose a bit of this map control. That looks of it here. Although they're going to bring Matthew back up on the respawn to join up with Whisper. This was under a ward, seeing this movement up top, though. So Quinn's going to know this is coming.
Yeah, that
he
ward
didn't
right
see
over
the
that tier
smoke,
1.
but yeah, he's going to know. Yeah, and then immediately disappears, so... A little unfortunate timing for EG. If this had been a few seconds later, maybe he doesn't know. Quinn does the ultimate safe route back all the way across.
Yeah.
He works on his Lincolns so that he will not get dueled or pulverized immediately anymore.
I honestly think if gaming buy 5 Lincoln Spheres, they just automatically win this game, because I don't see how duel.
Is it like Exodia? Like the game just ends, like a message pops up on screen?
Exactly.
Is it a cultural victory?
Yeah, you get it now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Maybe a religious victory. I feel like Lincoln's is sort of this thing that you pray to.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Tower is under attack.
I could never win those games any other way. It's just culture or religion. I don't know. I wasn't cut out for the warfare. I'm not a general, guys.
Fair
How
enough.
about... Oh, Panda, he's hiding.
Tofu looking. The save. Panda drops the tombstone right before the boundless strike. Oh, good save.
That was
Needs
sick.
to wait for him out, but they pull him away. The big stun. Pakis gets out of the ring. They've lost one. Tombstone down. Matthew gets the rebound towards safety as Duraccio runs forward, looks for the dispose, but it's only just the two of them that are going to go down. So Gaming Gladiators, good move up top, and then taking that fight. And again, these windows where things are sort of set up and clear and, you know, everybody knows what's happening, that's when Gaming Gladiators are finding these victories.
Oh, Tofu gets caught mid. Pop down into a duel.
That's
Pump
rough.
that damage up to 74 now onto Whisper. That was a sick save, though, by Panda, because I'm pretty sure they chain down Pakaz if he doesn't get thrown inside that tombstone, which is not the easiest save to make, obviously, on this hero. It feels like he kind of needs Aether Lens these days. I mean, he's going for a blink, so that's going to be his better idea. It'd just be a little bit more dangerous. I mean, Aether Lens, like, doubles the cast range of it as a save. It's so short.
It is kind of crazy how that works. Looks like Gaming Gladiators. Quinn is going to go try and take the Tormentor. Nice use there of the refraction.
Yes. That's a good thing they invented Tormentor so we can finally see little friends.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we totally notice it every fight, right?
No,
Yes,
totally.
I know, Patrick. Yes, there's a tombstone. But guys, look. He's It's time.
Bottom tower.
All right, keep your eyes on it, folks.
Keep eyes on what now?
The tombstone and the little friends.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah.
They're all friends. Yeah.
We also do have the Elven Tunic on the morph now, which is pretty interesting too. So you've got a little bit of evasion, which could play a pretty big role playing against the TA right now. No form of breakthrough that at all. And obviously a hero that depends upon those big hits.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Dire's bottom tower.
Another good thing about the Marcy, you can kind of just buy whatever.
Right.
Since you do have built-in mobility and you're already pretty tanky because you're, a universal hero. I almost said a strength hero, imagine.
Right.
But, you know, she still gets up there.
Radiant's middle tower.
But that's the whole point. I guess that's why you can definitely buy anything now.
Right.
As Marcy is. Just going to find a Centaur chilling in the pit. Potential respawn timer just came up, and wow, is he going to wait out here for the next 15 seconds? Is Matthew a psychic? Not this time. Hold.
Well, I
hold,
mean,
wait,
it also
wait.
would have spawned bottoms or tops, so.
That is a great point. You make an excellent point.
They're both smoked. He gets the ward down. They're going to have the better vision. Gaming Gladiators pop it down afterwards, but they already have the duel onto the target. Can they bring him down? Lasso, is it enough? Pakas, does he get it all up? No, he can't get the surge away. No vacuum used either. See Smile onto Celery, trying to blow him up. A good hit comes in. Panda, they miss on the low ground, but, I mean, Pakas is too big through all of this. With two dead, only the supports on the side of EG. Gaming Gladiators, they're going to lose.
That tombstone was doing mad work.
Oh, yeah.
And what a beautiful tombstone, man. When you get a fight like that, that's actually just game-winning Undying.
Yeah. Well, because they got down first, and then it was dewarded, so they lost vision after the duel. They had to get that tombstone down. And now this sets up for Roche. EG. I am so impressed by their ability to come out on top in these last couple of minutes, because, I mean, if Ace gets one ability off there, I feel like gaming just win that fight.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I saw the auras pop, but that was it. Like, no vacuum, no wall, obviously. And that could have been a complete turnaround there. Yeah, the build in terms of the Satanic too, you could see how much work it was doing for Pakaz, because everyone else is forced to use their mobility skills to get outside of the Wukong's command, but Pakaz just takes the time to chase down. He just walks down Duraccio the whole fight. He's utilizing the Satanic. He's standing in the Wukongs. He's comfortable because he's life stealing, and he is just clicking this Monkey King with the debuff, just saying, "Oh wait, where's the life steal, bud? What you gonna do?"
Yeah.
And he was just a sad little monkey.
Ooh, and Whisper. Got that DD. Want somebody. It's Duraccio. Will they get him, though?
Problem is he has no due diligence because there's no wards up, so
Yeah.
he can't utilize his DD.
That's sad. Due diligence. Yeah. That's crazy. Due diligence is crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a wild idea.
Look at anybody.
The market started trending upwards again. We've hit another recession.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Dude, I'm telling you, we can solve a lot of things here. I'm just going to move my whole portfolio into following Game Gladiators.
EG?
Buy now.
Stocks?
No,
right.
no. I'm shorting. I'm shorting EG.
Okay.
I might lose it all.
There's a chance. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, it really does come down, I feel like, to Whisper, but also just maybe more Lincoln Spheres. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Darkseer's queuing one up now.
Yeah,
they have to get them.
They have to.
But likewise, Legion
has. Is there
hasn't.
any? I mean, I guess there's Wind Waker. I was gonna say, is there any other solution for the after duel? And it really is just Wind Waker, right? Or tier 5 neutrals. That's the other choice.
E-Blade could maybe work.
Did we still buy that? Is that item legal?
In this game, probably not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Yo, Ench E-Blade? That's now we're talking. Okay. Now I'm with you.
All right. Celery. Hey, enchant. And then the rundown.
So bad though.
Damn. Yeah, has the full Silver Edge coming out now on Paka. So that these pickoffs instead ages.
Quinn trying to hit the big damage next up here too.
Right.
Go for the Daedalus. When Tofu is about to have Aghanims.
Right.
It's a tough call, I think, on this Bat Rider. I don't know why the Ags look so good. I feel like if you read the description, it feels like it shouldn't. Why is it always so successful? I don't know what. To me, when I envision a lasso, it feels like, oh, what are the chances I'm going to get a second target? And yet, inevitably, he finds them. These Bat Rider players that go for this item, they make it look so good.
Well, and I think in this type of a game in particular, I mean, this is the reason why I feel like this Gaming Gladiators squad is eventually just going to win, is that it's, again, 4 melees, right? They're going to be clumped together when these fights break out if they're trying to all-in a target. Like in that last one, right? Like the Legion dueled the Darkseer, and then immediately C-Smile on the Primal blink trampled on top of it, right? Like, that's the way that you fight. So if there's a lasso, they're going to find 2. If there's a vacuum, he's probably going to find 4. And then if Dyrachyo manages to get his ring down, particularly 25, when Dyrachyo gets 25,
dude,
this game feels so hard.
I hate that talent. It's so good.
They're going to find Pakas here, but they won't be able to get him. He was surged away because he's in Darkseer form. 25 is what I think Gaimin are waiting for on Dyrachyo.
They also just finished that Aghanims and the Daedalus, and then immediately bought a smoke on Tofu. So there's certainly some discussion happening of just like, hey, I want to move on the map right now. Speaking of moving on the map, Celery is under an OBS and doesn't have. Well, he doesn't drop a sentry. He doesn't have a gem, but it doesn't look like he's gonna end up being punished for this.
Right.
Either way, they're here now with the Aegis. It's go time. It's only 30 seconds left on it though.
Oh.
Could they punish at the end of this 20 seconds? I feel like Pakaz probably leaves, especially... Well, I was going to say especially because he just used Satanic, and then I noticed it's just Sidekick. God, that's absurd.
It's really crazy how good it is. I mean, they're going to try and hold out as long as they can, but this is the window for EG. They take that full melee racks. The Aegis just now expiring.
Okay, great take. EG feeling like they're now in control. They're going to have the economic advantage. That slow trend towards Gaming Gladiators we've been seeing during the downtime, during the farming, is now going to stop, really, because you're taking away so much of your gold. I guess it's not as much as it used to be in terms of like how valuable the lane creeps were and stuff, but
right,
it's still clearly going to be an impact, mostly because of the time that's spent trying to deal with this middle lane.
Mm-hmm. This look like they're going to try and make another run at it here, though. EG, get together, smoke up. Coming out. Shirley? Hello? Hello? They not? They need to push out this wave. Okay, that makes sense.
It's crazy that Whisper has only used BKB twice.
Yeah. He's been able
really
to get away
odd.
with a lot.
Yeah. For better or for worse, it seems. Okay, so do we have anything yet to deal with the duel? We don't, right? Other than Lincoln's?
TA on Lincoln's.
Or Lasso, I guess, yeah.
Darkseer also has Lincoln's.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And Halberd,
They're going to run
I
into
guess,
him
too.
first. Break the Lincolns, get the duel. But Boundless Strikes try and turn C-Smile through. They're still all grouped together. Can he get the vacuum off? He will, but it's not enough. Darkseer still goes down. C-Smile controlling Dyrachyo. Everybody else backs away, disarmed. And they bring him down in time. Dyrachyo fall in. The sidekick is good. 2 dead, and they're going to find a third onto Quinn. Double killed for Pakas. That is everything they needed and more. EG are hitting their time perfectly.
These halberds are so funny. Triple halberd is comical versus TA Monkey King. They just couldn't play. Topo even got a double lasso, but it didn't matter. It didn't last long enough. They were split up at the start of the fight. That wasn't a true engagement for Game Gladiators. They didn't have everything, and they need the full squad there to win these engagements.
Really tough for them. C-Smile is taking some hits from Celery here, but EG, they want to end the game right now. Tier 4 tower goes down. No Darkseer. Another 20 seconds, and they find the duel onto Dyrachyo. Gonna kill off Celery. GG is called. EG pull out a fabulous performance. Really, really impressive stuff from EG here.
My portfolio's ruined. It's the ultimate recession. Everything has crashed. It's gone through the roof.
I am really impressed with the Evil Geniuses after that game. That was not an easy game to win. Whisper played out of his mind on this Legion commander. Really solid stuff there. God. And
yeah, the pressure was on them. Like, it was a classic situation where, like, the more things stalled, it was just looking better for the other team. So you're the ones who have this need to keep going forward. And this Morphling in combination there with Whisper, as you said, like perfect items from the Morphling. Like, this was a true, like, one carry style of game where he was the one who had the most sustained damage during the engagements, and you had C-Smile and Whisper as this, like, double playmaker initiator style, and they did a fantastic job. And then this triple halberd idea of Matthew, C-Smile, Whisper all getting halberds right at the end versus the TA Monkey King is just perfect. There was nothing they could do. That is all of their damage.
It was super impressive. I mean, you can see in these fights the way that when Dyrachyo hit those first set of items, it was really scary for EG. But again, you know, I said this at the start of the broadcast. There's more people listening now. To everybody that said that Evil Geniuses are done, Evil Geniuses are completely washed, maybe, just maybe, you know, take one tournament with a grain of salt. Because they're showing that they're still one of the best teams in the world, taking down Gaming Gladiators here and sitting top of the group. These guys are freaking gamers.
Now, I have a question for you. Should this Monkey King have bought Battle Fury?
I don't know, man.
For context, I really dislike Battle Fury. But you know what? Then this obviously is the one issue, is that this was a Battle Fury-less Monkey King because you have a Templar Assassin, and you're hoping to play this entire game off of that Blink, Deso, Aegis timing. And trying to take a lot of the game from there. But they lost the Aegis pretty fast. It was still a winning fight for Game Gladiators, but they didn't do that classic sweep across the map, take a lot of, like, at least 2 tier 2 towers, as well as take over the enemy ancient camp. That's what you'll often see with this exact style of lineups. You've seen it 100 times when she gets that timing. But they didn't, and then things start to stall out and slow down. And although it was still moving in their direction, they didn't have any, like, crazy accelerant for Dyrachyo. He also played, like, very tight and very close to an ally a lot of the times, like be it Ace or something like that. So he wasn't a true, like, farming carry, but EG just outplayed them in the fights 100%.
Totally. And I will say one last thing there that stands out to me. Is I am really, really impressed in particular with the decision not just to go for the Morphling, but then to go back with the Marcy too. I think that was integral in their ability to find success here. It was a huge amount of the reason why Morph was able to do what he did in that game. Like sustain against the illusions that were coming out from Ace. Solid stuff. So we're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, we're going to have game 2, Gaming Gladiators versus EG. See y'all then.
تستمتع وتلاقي الوجبة جاية على الأصول. واو يجيك العيش هش طالع من الأوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it. وتسوي كده وتسوي كده وتسوي كده مع الحشمة وانت بغراب خفيفة جيب تويستر. انا اجيب لي وجبة الزنجة بس كله يجيب اكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر. حطلب باكت حطلب زنجة حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر. جيب له باكت جيب له زنجة جيب له الاصلي جيب له تويستر. delicious yeah.
Welcome back, you beautiful people out there. We're getting ready for game number 2. Gaming Gladiators facing off against versus Evil Geniuses. That's never going to get old. Or it might.
Nope.
Which is another possibility. Damn, man. That was a crazy game, though. I really enjoyed seeing all the cool things that Evil Geniuses were able to do. I think Gaming Gladiators put on a good performance, but I don't know. Maybe it was something about the Duraccio Monkey King needing to go Battle Fury. Maybe it was like needing to just like secure that next Roche, getting to places a little bit quicker. There was like those fights around the tombstone up on high ground. It was impressive. Undying did do a lot. I think that was one of the biggest things about it. The save potential from that hero in a couple of those clutch situations where maybe Morphling dies. I think if Morphling dies in that game, it probably goes better, but he didn't. Baka's owned.
I think some of the stuff that they did really well was right at the end and the transitioning out of the laning stage. Because we talked about how like they killed Panda and they just never went bottom again. And they tried to go down there one more time to kill Ace, but then Dyrachyo was nearby to sort of back him up, and they stopped that pick. And instead of like chasing them around or anything, they just kind of got to a point where they decided, hey, we're going to control the top half of this map. We're going to try and get some kills onto Whisper. We're going to wait till we have these bigger items up onto Sea Smile as well as Pakaz, and then we'll fight a little bit. And those fights didn't go like perfect, and they lost some fights, and they ended up losing the Aegis and the Roche and stuff. But they kept building up. They never felt too far behind. They held their high ground well when they got forced to just lurk in the high ground for a while, and they eventually were able to turn that whole game around with those great initiations once the items were there, and the proper defensive itemization of the halberds versus this like double right-clicking victory idea of Gaming Gladiators.
Well, I'm curious to see what Gaming Gladiators' response is going to be, because I think there's a lot of, in a game like that, there's a lot of potential things that you could look at and be like, this was too difficult to deal with, this was too difficult to deal with. And now that they're actually in there and talking about it, they take the Legion out first. I think that's the right decision. This hero in Whisper's hand, it really did appear to do some special stuff.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the flex was still there as well that whole time. Like this Legion Commander is definitely a hero that can go to the mid lane. It can go into the safe lane right now. She is seeing a lot of action all over the map. And again, she is just good. I wonder if her numbers have gone up again. I keep checking. It's actually gone up again. I check every day on Dota 2 Pro Tracker to see how Legion Commander is doing. It started at around 54%, then it climbed to 55%, and now Legion's up to 55.6% win rate. She's now the 4th most picked hero in top tier pubs and rocks a, almost 56% win rate. That's crazy.
So in comparison, you're saying that among the top games played in Dota 2 right now, Legion is the 4th most picked, and it has one of the highest win rates.
Yes, that is correct. Of the top MMR, like 7K, 8K.
I mean, it's
crazy.
It's a really good hero. So this does change things around. We saw this literally just yesterday. So this has been a big refrain, has been Gaming Gladiators taking the IO, the enemy team trying to steal away the Leshrac. And yesterday when we saw this happen, who was it against? Was it against...
They do it!
Yeah, this is the answer. So this is what Gaming Gladiators do. They run the...
It was Team Spirit.
The Razor. I was trying to pull up the draft, actually. I'll find it here in a second.
It was Team Spirit because then, we had a really funny moment where they went Ion. We said, okay, so is Team Spirit going to steal the Lesh? And then they did. They went Lesh and Elder Titan. And then Gaming Gladiators answered with the Razor. And then when we went back, the last time this happened to Gaming Gladiators, the last time they played Razor was in the exact same situation versus Team Spirit 7 months ago, where they opened with Io, and then they stole their Leshrac, and they immediately went Razor. So this is their idea that they go with here. To deal with Leshrac. They gave it to Quinn in the mid lane. Dyrachyo wound up playing a Sven later on, but that was largely due to the fact that Drow was picked up by Team Spirit later, so they kind of got pushed in towards a Sven style strat, and it worked pretty well.
So I think that obviously in a group stage format, like you can't necessarily guarantee that the enemy team has watched all of the games and have seen this stuff happen, but I do have a feeling that because this is the first game of the day, Evil Geniuses did look back at that Team Spirit thing and had an idea for the IO. And their idea is, instead of running the Elder Titan with the Lesh, we're going to run the Undying with the Lesh, which I think makes it a lot stronger. You've got like a hard save now when that shard comes out to deal with this. And also, I think in that game when we saw Laurel play it, I think that was on the Lesh, he went like Yule's first. And I was like, dude, it's not like 2015. What are you doing? But I'm sure it was fine.
So it does seem to be that we're trending that way with the Leshrac. People want the Blink Yules again. That's
really?
Kind of been, that's where we're going.
No.
So get used to it because it's going to keep happening. Yeah.
No.
It's I'd say it's like 50-50 right now of Yule's first or Bloodstone first. So Bloodstone's not out, but it's looking a little bit sus.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
So maybe not.
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate thing, right? I can just throw all the theory crafting out and just say, "Did you win or lose, nerd?" And then poke him in the chest. Huh?
That's what Lyrical does at LAN. He often intimidates the players.
That's what I also do when people say hi to me in a candy store. The copy pasta. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's a grocery store, dog.
Oh, is it a grocery store?
I just want USA resident mistakes grocery store for candy store.
I just want candy.
I know everything has corn syrup in it, but it is still technically a grocery store.
It's not true. Everything is corn syrup. Oh, that sweet nectar. All right, we got Batrider taken by evil
hooked up like an
geniuses.
IV bag. It just drips right into the bloodstream. He's back. Batrider going to be going over to Evil Geniuses. Slightly more likely in my eyes that this is a core, just based off the fact that it's Evil Geniuses. I think that's a fair guess. And the last time they had this hero, you know who they paired it with? It was a glorious Matthew Clinks, the support Clinks. See, this is why we want to watch Evil Geniuses. Matthew, so far this tournament, has picked up the Bounty Hunter, the Clinks, and then he just busted out a Mercy. So I'm a big fan, gotta say.
Okay.
Matthew's my guy, because when we were trash commentators doing all those in-house leagues, and the only thing we were casting to was like ourselves, basically, Matthew was in there. He was on his grind set.
It's true. Dude, you're not wrong. All right, can I tell you something? This is exactly what Gaming Gladiators did last game against Team Spirit. They ran Io Lesh with the Underlord.
5 seconds.
And then the next pick would be Rubik to help cover them not getting Rubik, although it's Batrider.
Yeah, they banned
take Lion.
So they have to take the Lion instead.
Okay.
But, part of this, I do think the Underlord might have been a worthy ban. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they just removed some of the other more powerful heroes too, like the Lycan. Maybe instead of the Lycan, I would have liked to see the Underlord ban, because part of the success they had last time was utilizing this gate. It was so frustrating doing the gate with the relocates. Like, they constantly had full numbers there from Game Gladiators. Very similar to what EG just did in last game, where we saw all 4 heroes show up mid to duel Quinn at minute 9. Or whatever, and then Tofu immediately dies to 4 heroes that are still mid lane for some reason at that point. That's what you are able to achieve without sacrificing so much farm when you have both relocate as well as the Fiend's Gate.
Yeah. No, it's really strong, and it means that you can just sort of go, I don't know, what was the type of thing? You can go for the relocate type of play, but with only 2 heroes smoking out together, suddenly you can bring your entire squad there, which is pretty nice. Oh my god, it's telling... I need to look at this. It's telling me to restart my computer. Give me a second here. Oh god, I'm scared. Oh no, wait an hour, please. Don't get me in the middle of the game. All right, this game can't go over an hour, Trent, otherwise we're in trouble.
All right, perfect. You must update. If you suddenly vanish, I'll take over. We got it. Well, funnily enough, we were just talking about how Game Gladiators have played a Sven. EG gonna bust out the Sven. So, Sven, why wasn't Sven being picked, guys? Right? We have all these illusion heroes everywhere. They're farming up everything all over the map. Why doesn't Sven farm up everything all over the map? Well, the answer is maybe he should have been being picked, because right now he's being picked quite a bit in pubs, being spammed a little bit by a couple of the players who are playing this tournament, and he's looking all right. He farms creeps fast. Mask of Madness feels pretty good. Echo Saber feels good. You got Halberd activation later on.
Right.
If the game's going pretty well, and it looked very solid for Draccio. He had a fantastic game. They struggled to really kite him as well, and looking at this, the kite's not too bad. I mean, you are a melee hero versus Razor, so obviously there's some issues, but the thing about Sven, unlike most melee heroes, he just wants to do his thing in the span of 3 seconds. So linked or not, the damage is going to be there.
Right. No, it's true. And I think that it was also kind of that integral part of Gaming Gladiator squad yesterday, like you're talking about, that gives that armor to Razor, allows him to sort of stand tall in those engagements. I think now that you kind of have this mixed damage coming out from Gaming Gladiators, it's still going to be good, that sort of sustained damage over time, but I think the Warcry is going to give that sort of strength to Leshrac that he really needs, because in that last game that we saw against Spirit, they weren't able to do it. He needed something like a Lich or a Warcry next to him to keep that damage mitigation going.
That's a great snipe on the Medusa ban. Late in the draft, it's very unusual for it still to be in. And with the Darkseer ban too, that might have even been what made them remember, like, oh right, yeah. But obviously Game Gladiators can't just pick Medusa if Darkseer's still in, because it even outside of a Medusa counter pick, it looks like a great Darkseer game for EG. Classic combo with the Sven, it would really help. They have a good lane with the Bat Rider anyway. So, good call.
And I think that they are reading this right too, that it's going to be a Dyrachyo hero they're looking for last here.
5 seconds remaining.
This matchup against Sven, it's been so long. It's hard to think about what you even really need to worry about.
Honestly, Troll Warlord, but I mean, every time he suggests Troll, it's just like dead hero. But like, I mean, Game Gladiators don't really play it. In fact, the last time they played it actually was it 5 months ago, and it was versus Evil Geniuses. Yeah, and they lost. So, it did work out for them with the major. Do they want their revenge? I don't know.
Lifestealer would have been good. Morphlane, if they wanted to run, it's already banned.
Still TA. You'd have Refractions versus Sven. Oh, there's Leshrac. That's a bit.
What
of
about
a
just Faceless?
Just the classic.
Throw in the Void. Let's do it. Dyrachyo, I believe in you. Surely you wouldn't miss any Chronos.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, we're going to rewind back to that clip a little bit later.
Why is that?
Just surely you won't miss any Chronos. That's just how you curse somebody. Yeah, nice call. I like that. Time dilation looks incredible this game, especially if they decide to core the Bat. That's going to be a bad time. It can be decent versus Leshrac too, and Undying. Even Sven, you know?
Yeah.
He's got a couple actives that you know he's going to use right away. Yeah, but about 3 of them he's going to pop the second a fight starts. So maybe you kite him around a little bit there too.
Now, what do you think about this? If they put Whisper on the Lesh instead, and then take a different mid here, I wonder if they could do that. Is there anything that they could pick that would like really mess up the Razor mid?
I don't think there's anything that absolutely obliterates him. The only popular heroes right now that are pretty good versus him would be like Meepo. Is it a good? I mean, it's Meepo into Underlord is the real downside. I don't know if it's like the worst counter pick. It seems pretty good, obviously, because of just percent-based damage and AoE control. And you really have to be ready to Meepo. Although, if I recall, I believe C-Spile was practicing it quite a bit.
Okay.
Let me see. Well, he's not up there anymore if he was. The most Meepo games in the past week here. Last 8 days, we got Gunner at 11, Shiro at 10. God. Dude, Shiro's on his grind.
He's ready.
Kiritich, Kiyotaka, they're also on their grind set, but we're just going to keep it simple and pick up a Doom. A lot of offlaners were banned out, so this is not a hero's win rate you want to look at in pubs, that's for sure. I can't believe he got nerfed again. This poor guy is way too good in pro games and way too bad in pubs. He was actually at like a 41% win rate when he got nerfed, and it's fallen even further. He's currently at 40.6% win rate. In top tier pubs, like the best pubs. Yeah.
Right. Which obviously incredibly different from pro games, but I think it's a good answer here against Dyrachyo Faceless Void. There's going to be a long window before that Lincoln Sphere comes out where he's just going to be super annoying to deal with. And I think the biggest thing for me is put Whisper on a game-winning hero, right? That's what I want to see when I see Evil Geniuses play.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll see if it ends up being what they need. C-Smile playing on the Leshrac versus the Razor mid. Pretty cool stuff, all in all.
We'll see. Yeah, obviously, this. If I recall, the lane went very poorly for Quinn.
Right.
Remember, he got kind of bopped.
He get a little bit destroyed.
Yeah, he got owned last time when he was playing versus Laurel. So hopefully he maybe remembered a few interactions there. Because this is probably not a matchup you're getting a lot in pubs. It seems to be a very specific counterpick that you're doing with your IO. Like, this is definitely a game plan thing with this whole Razor idea. Right. And, we'll see if it works a little better from this side. But To go through it, essentially, everyone. So you've been seeing the IO Leshrac. You understand that is a very strong strategy here from Gladiators. Every other team knows that too, and that's why they're sealing this Leshrac. So this idea of the Razor, it's a very similar concept, really. Like they're going to be moving around the map together with the IO and the Razor. You're going to be build up like this, like Sanj and Yasha style items. You're just running at them. He probably wants to delay the BKB as much as possible. It looks like another game where he's probably not going to have a very early BKB as well, like going into the Doom and stuff too.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, like you're saying, basically you just get on top of the Lesh and you do the physical damage way more than he's capable of dealing with. You remove all of his armor and you just rip him to shreds. So we'll see if it ends up working. We're getting into this, though. Game number 2, and both teams heading out across the map. We'll see if he can get tanky enough and strong enough on that Razor to deal with the pressure coming in. And then, of course, the big issue is going to be that Doom, because I think that, like, the combination of Lesh with the Sven giving him extra armor is enough to keep Sea Smile alive. But then you have the follow-up that comes in from the IO to boost up the Razor, from the Faceless Void to drop the Chrono, and then it's going to be down to, like, Doom. So you got these, like, weird stacking team fight abilities on top of each other and figuring out who hits their line better.
Yeah, that is true. Whereas there's... Yeah, I guess it is kind of for both, yeah. I was going to say it almost seems like more so for one side than the other, but you also have to consider, like, you really can't layer too much for either side.
Yeah.
Because you want to be pretty specific with your jump from Pakaz and that lasso, but you also want to make sure that you're not blowing it with the Chrono. Okay. Lanes are not looking too funky. Looks like everyone's just going to be doing their normal thing. Celery will be returning to his IO gameplay. IO or Ench. That seems to be the fun times for Celery right now.
Yeah.
What else has he even played this tournament?
I actually don't know if it's been much more than that. I think the only way he plays something else is if IO and Ench are banned out.
Oh, we missed a Rubik game. Okay, he played some Rubik.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Well, we might have even cast that one, actually.
Played some Disruptor? Wow. Nah, it was versus LGD.
Okay. So, getting into this early game, Celery is going to head on through the portal, take the pass, and Ace going to try and do what he can. I feel like this lane, it probably is a little bit scarier for Ace than most, because you've got Decay and then also a stun here. There's a chance they can maybe get a little bit fresh on him.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how Pakaz plays it with the levels in the cleave as well. Just because of, like, the way Underlord wants to play the lane, it might be fine to just take the points in the cleave, no worry about holding it, and you just keep harassing him down if he decides to stay nearby. Tofu and Panda just trading blows for a while, but yeah, there it is. It's stacking up.
Dangerous. And Pakaz takes the first blood over Ace. Well done, well done. Yeah, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, he just recognized that so fast. Panda buys out here as well, and will save his small camp. So good D ward on that. Try and get some control back in. Mid lane, though, this is kind of what happened last time. Remember Quinn tried to get his first last hit? Oh, it took him so long.
Yeah.
But he got one this time, so things are already looking a lot better for Razor compared to the previous one.
Again, it's 7-3 versus 2-3, but this is still better than it was last game. Yeah. Or not last game in the series, but last time we saw the Razor versus Lesh matchup.
I love the pump fake as well, right? Keeps forcing Quinn to move, messing with his last hitting possibilities because he knows he's a little weak right now. It did turn up quite a bit once he got up to like level 4 and level 5, but oh man, he also did get, I think he was first blood last time.
Yeah. No, it was
solo killed.
It was a problem. And Quinn?
Oh my god.
Fairy Fire, just the punches. Damn, dude. See Smile taking him to task. All lanes looking very good for EG. Similar to what we saw last time around from them. I feel like EG after Bali, they have like a lot, not necessarily to prove, but I feel like they want to prove it themselves, you know? They don't have to, but I think they want to. Quinn?
Oh my god, I cannot believe he lived.
Oh, jeez. Oh, bottling up the turn. walks back in. Does have not enough mana for Lightning Storm. Oh my god. Playing on an edge.
That uphill miss, though. I think if he hits that, he chases. Matthew's getting a blood grenade down bottom, though, as he makes his way to the bridge.
No chance for a bash.
No, you shall not pass today.
Stun. Got him.
Oh, we double bridge action.
Ace in trouble. Tries to get away. Not going to happen. 2 kills early for Pakas.
You know, he kind of is like the Balrog. I mean, we have Doom in the game, I guess. He really is the Balrog, so there's a lot of Lord of the Rings happening here with these passes. Do we have any lovely wizards? Who's Gandalf in this game? Lion, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
He's been to hell and back.
Like evil Gandalf. It's true.
Lion the White.
Yeah. Although I don't think that... Was it hell that Gandalf went to? It wasn't really.
Bro, it was pretty... I mean, as far as Lord of the Rings goes, that was pretty hellish. You fall down a long time, you know?
I mean... Oh, I see what you mean, right? Yeah, I was talking about when he died. But yeah, that's a good point. Okay. By the way, Lion has 10 last hits. Tofu is doing things this game.
He's trying to surpass Quinn. He heard that Quinn's having a rough time, and so he's hoping he can get higher than Quinn so he can show him this replay and teach him how to mid.
I like that. Yeah, Lion mid, new meta. New but old meta. Water runs picked up.
Unfortunately, I've seen people attempting it.
Oh, no.
Let's keep it old. Don't bring it back.
Celery. Gotta get away from Matthew there. And we'll manage to back away from him. So far,
certainly respects support bat.
So far, so good, though. Definitely Quinn the lowest out of the cores, but not by, like, an unbelievable margin right now. He's keeping things fairly even.
Yeah,
Definitely
even
a bit
compared to C-Smiley, he's fine. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's especially considering the gap that was there earlier. You know, life's pretty good at this point. Just doesn't make sure he doesn't get owned by a support rotation.
Wow.
They try and walk down Celery.
Oh, that pushback. That was much needed. Matthew onto him. Not going to be able to get quite enough damage. The blood grenade chased down. Rachio just running through fire. Wants a bash. Wants it real bad. Time dilation. Actually has the 2 stacks on him. And Matthew, he has stick charges? Can they get a bash? Can they get a hit? Can they get anything?
Oh, no.
Bang. Rachio got him. Did miss a couple of creeps for that, though. Wow, Baka's up top. Finding Ace. 2 points in Atrophy Aura, though. That'll be enough to stop anything from happening.
Damn, Picasso was so low, though. Very scary stuff as the Firestorm comes back off cooldown. But the Tombstone means it's very hard to turn and try and put any sort of a play back on Picasso. And Tovu also busy going to that top rune here, so first power rune, we'll see who gets it.
Dun, 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 dun. Up top.
Invis, though. Not exactly what you're hoping for. Definitely wanted something a little bit more oppressive versus this Leshrac. We'll get like a haste rune or a DD or something.
Matthew, in the meantime, picked up the other bounty. Now, they do have level 6s, both of those mids. And I think that he's just going to try and spam this out on the Razor. So far, so good. Lion's still the support that's kind of having the best time out of it as he keeps on getting these pulls off. Whisper is close to 6. Well, not really. He's level 5.
Close-ish.
Yeah.
Be another chill farm game here.
Yeah.
Garacho, we had a fantastic Faces Void performance by Mikke.
Whisper?
Match.
Oh my god, dude, these bashes. He put 3 points in time lock. Didn't even notice. Damage. Needs another one. Oh, the tree drop. Oh, nicely done, Whisper. He does ring around the rosy. That keeps him alive. Holy. That was sick.
Yo, Johnny Appleseed. He gets
that
it
was
done.
Whisper. That was nice.
This is where you stay on the lane and die. Because you made this sick play. Oh, speaking of dying, up top there.
Yeah.
Quinn makes the move.
That was good. Yeah, he's going to survive. Heads back on over. Gets a few tangos handed to him as Sven off to farm up some of these camps across the map.
Nice. Yeah, Quinn, though, taking advantage of using that ulti.
Whisper. He walked back in. Flame Break pushes them both back. Whisper has a Tango ready to go to heal him back up, and not going to be able to do all that much damage to the double bash. Matthew's still chasing forward onto Duraccio. The stun with the run through the portal. Oh, they had him. Well done. And then hitting some creeps on his way through. 3 swipes. God, makes the play.
That could not be any better. Like, you're farming up top. You get kind of bullied out by this Razor who's ulting. He's like, why is he in my jungle? You get a freebie down bot, but Panda might be gifting one back here.
He just died. Oh, no.
Tofu. He's rich. He's lying.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a problem. If he can get to a quick Blink Dagger on Tofu this game, EG are going to maybe be in some trouble there.
You know you're in trouble when they won't even spend for the Tranquil Boots.
Yeah.
A 175 gold. He's like, no, I'm close. I got this.
Oh, and he's getting the stacks on too.
Cosmo has the Mask of Madness.
Stun and run. Raccio not quite 6, but Whisper there needs to hit Quinn, keeping him away. It's enough. They get him. They managed to find 1, but now the turnaround. They're going to pay for their transgressions. Zombie connects for the kill on Celery, and they take down Quinn too.
Yeah, considering the chase, I think that's kind of worth it for EG. I mean, obviously Sven is at a pretty critical part in his game where he's trying to maximize his farm right now, but as long as the Razor and the IO are going down, you're kind of okay with this. Underlord also getting stacks up here. Classic game in Gladiators where all the focus is on the other 2 cores, and then Ace quietly becomes the most farmed person. That's usually what happens in their matches.
Interesting. Tofu, I thought he was going to actually just try and drag that, but I think he was trying to get a deep ward down. Steals away the bounty. Matthew right on top of Tofu now. Does not have level 6 for the bat. Ooh, throws out the stun. Finger of Death, enough. See Smile now in trouble from it. Ends up dying. Good play by Tofu to make sure he got that finger off first. And Matthew, now stuck up on a cliff, is just going to accept his fate here. They lose vision for a moment. Matthew doing a good job of this, but eventually bring over the courier to make sure they can get him.
Wasting a little bit more of their time. This is one thing I'll never understand about pro players. I couldn't be this pro Lion. Like, I would have to buy the Tranquil Boots. Like, surely the gold is worth it. It's 175 gold for 20 movement speed the entire time that you're building up to this Blink Dagger. Like, I feel like he would have lived there because he would have been through that dire jungle faster. But, you know, they want these timings. You know, they got to hit him. He wants that Blink.
Oh, Tofu kind of messed up, but never mind. Doesn't matter. Didn't even need to actually get the Hex off there. Was fully expecting that Quinn was going to be able to clean up, and indeed Quinn did. So 7-7. Still, most farm hero in the game by a pretty wide margin is this Sven. Aka's getting everything he needs, although if they can finish off this stack, that is going to give a nice little chunk of change into their hands. Try and catch back up to that Sven's farm.
It's obviously not the fastest, but with a little bit of help from the Underlord, you can get this done. And then 50 seconds till relocate, 15 seconds until Fiend's Gate. If they set something up with Chrono, oh, not yet, Duraccio. Live a little longer, bud.
They got him.
Oh, he's not living.
They got him. Nicely played. See, Smile the one that
comes
go in. Clean up. I mean, no Doom, no lasso. Whisper going for the more fighty build. No Midas. Just straight into Crimson.
Yeah, kind of prepared for the aggression they want to bring out. Maybe hoping to buy a little bit more time. Jeez, he dodges right now.
Yeah.
Who knew? But yeah, hoping to buy more time for Sven, I think. Now it's pressure onto the mid tower. Tofu, he's going to dig up a bounty rune right now. Let me see it. Shovel, Tofu. Pop your shovel. Right out. Here it comes. Oh, he was waiting for the obs to watch. That's so smart of him. All right, let me see it.
There it is.
Get a bounty rune. Oh, Tofu, you're killing me.
It's not
killing
happening.
Me, bud. Come on.
It's not.
Come on. Come on. Look, this could be a GPM creep. You're trying to get a Blink Dagger here, bud.
Hey!
Oh,
Mango. If he dug quicker, it would have been a bounty.
Yeah, for sure.
Up top, Panda. Getting chased. Oh, poor Panda.
That's savage. To Chrono and Undying. That's.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that.
He just Midased him, basically. You know, he just used the cooldown of Chrono to just gain some gold and XP and then go back to farming.
Exactly.
That's all it was.
Pretty good. Oh, down bottom. They're going for this, trying to get him. Fagus in trouble and going to die. Wow, that is a much bigger pickoff. Huge.
Yeah, you are okay dying there as Tofu. You're very happy to be involved.
Wow.
Make sure that happens for the squad. And that is going to be Blink Gold when he comes back up.
Smile.
Doesn't have to do much.
He hits him. Now, with the Purge on to Quinn, they're bringing him lower, but they don't quite have the damage. They will be able to bring down Celery. Still chasing, looking. Oh, Matthew, they caught him. He's in trouble now. Panda drops the tombstone up on the high ground, doing what damage he can, but Quinn just standing tall throughout all of this. Oh, well, we'll see how far they can go. I can't do much more. Man, Gaming Gladiators playing these last couple of minutes really well, and I think the big thing is slowing down that Sven.
Now they're going to probably smoke up and go again. 30 seconds until relocate, 40 seconds until Fiend's Gate, and a blink is up on Lion. So it's just time to go. Duraccio could also even just farm out bottom, and Chrono will be up in a minute, so they can make their way there. Roche timings this game, not particularly fast for either side, really. I don't think anyone's going to be rushing to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel like they need Panda to have these like abilities in the fight, so committing like a Tombstone or Flesh Golem down to secure Roche is a bit scary.
It'll be basically a Eye of the Storm or for the Radiant and a Tombstone for the Dire that's going to cost, I'm sure. Probably won't be even like 10 minutes, honestly.
Yeah. Well, pick up
though.
Whisper.
There
it's a
we
nice
go.
target.
Setup.
Instantly on him. Now they do have some friends nearby, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time. It's a hard hero to kill. They bring in Panda. Drop Tombstone if they want to in 2 seconds. Matthew jumped upon, but the pushback. Oh, and then the relocate out. Nicely done. Great catch with that stun after the fact, and then the blink away. Nothing lost on the map.
Wow.
If they can get out with Ace, that's a big if. It looks like they're going to. Man.
Yeah, this is very similar to what we saw the last time they did this strategy with the IO Razor. Same idea. Downside to that pick was that it was just too close to the tier 2. Like,
right.
I mean, it's good they recognize that, like, maybe this isn't so easy to just, like, grab Whisper. They also forced all the rotations, so even though they all rotated, EG all rotated, it's definitely not the worst. They'd also already farmed up some of the camps up there, too, so there was just, like, some dead space they were kind of missing out on. They will respawn now, though, so it's fine. But the whole time, Duraccio was farming, whereas they had to actually force Pakaz to join that fight. Maybe that closes the gap a little bit.
Yeah, he is going to be able to get back to it again pretty quickly afterwards, but those little incremental gains that they're trying to find. And Gaming Gladiators making a lot of moves around this map. The Blink Lion, like we said, it's going to be a problem. They did also manage to deward that ward that was just placed down, so something else that does get lost from Gaming Gladiators there. But down bottom, EG, they're prepared for this. Underlord has Fiend's Gate back up in 15 seconds. As EG, are they under any vision? Doesn't quite look like it. Quinn walks forward, finds Matthew. Right there. Oh, they find one. He's gone. Crimson Guard, not enough to keep him alive.
Duraccio didn't like what he saw for Chrono. They just take the one kill. Keep going here. Don't want to fight into the Eye of the Storm as EG, clearly, because they definitely need that right now to fight, it feels like, for Game Gladiators. Especially when you consider Chrono. They really don't have a whole lot of damage to throw into the Chrono. You're kind of hoping that the Eye of the Storm is going to be nearby.
Right. Oz draws the creep aggro back behind the tower, and he can farm it up a little bit. But already, Gaming Gladiators, they're getting more out of the map. Underlords on the top side obviously can get there in a second. And EG, they need to find this pick. They got to get somebody here.
And they did it last game with Whisper, with his grabs. Like using superior vision, they managed to secure a lot of kills that I wouldn't have expected. So now it's going to be on Matthew here on this Bat Rider. He is the Blink and the Tumbler's toy, so a little bit of high mobility here. Ace going to be spotted out.
This is a nice one.
Is popped.
Onto him immediately. And no way to stop that. Now, there was a thought there of maybe going right into the pit, but it doesn't look like EG want to do it. Instead, they're going to get jumped on Panda mid. Kaz turns around. Panda, he lives. Oh, and now they're on to Celery. They find Tofu, going to kill him. I don't know if they can catch the rest of Gaming Gladiators. They're pretty quick.
Yeah, I think Tofu might have just saved them, honestly. There's like a little bit disabled there. They focus on the line instead because it kind of felt like there's a chance to get a chase down to at least the IO, if not for grabbing onto Tofu there. So,
yeah,
nice play by EG. But yeah, you're right because like I wasn't really expecting a Roche, but in that would have just been like serendipitous where you've just ulted to get a kill, Underlord's dead, and you're immediately next to Roche. Like that could have been worth it, but they didn't want to just give up tier 2 mid or just like lose too much map control here.
Yeah, I guess there's a question.
It would have been nice, though, because they just got Bloodstone on C-Smile, too, so it's like, he would be so strong with Aegis.
Yeah. Quinn comes in, steals the camps. And EG still kind of being herded around the map a bit here. Kaz is getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger. Which, again, he's already incredibly strong, but he doesn't have that same type of lead that we saw earlier. And also, because of Whisper's build, going for a very different type of, not like having that same level of farm that we normally see from a Doom.
Yeah, it's true. I like the idea of the tank ability, though, simply because they're trying to get more to C-Smile. You know? Like trying to keep him alive in these fights is definitely going to be the main consideration here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
With the Blink not even done yet, though, it's by the time he eventually gets a Blink, it's very likely Duracio's going to have the Lincolns.
Yeah.
So it will be hard for him to actually deal with them.
I mean, he's going to have the Purge Creep, which he can use to break Lincolns, but they're going to have one on both Razor and Duracio at about the same time. Matthew, Whisper together trying to go for a hunt, but they're going to run into a lot of heroes down bottom. Celery. I think now seeing all of these guys, yeah, Matthew backs away, but this is really good for EG. They do get scanned, so now Gaming Gladiators recognizing they're in the area. No wards down as of yet.
Now they smoke the Gaming Gladiators. They're going to run
Quinn.
right into them.
Find Matthew, push back. Now they bring down the Fiend's Gate. Ace goes forward, finds Whisper, purges himself to back away.
Nice play.
Keeping it good for the moment. Vision already down.
Oh, no.
They find him. See Smile. He gets hexed. The follow-up. Is it going to be enough? Bloodstone, everything. He can't survive. The Doom is there onto Io. But, I mean, the Tombstone down off those, but maybe it will with Pakaz here. The chase, looking for a stun. Whisper, but the Chrono. Duracio has it. This is a perfect fight from Gaming Gladiators. Duracio on to Pakaz, finding a couple more bashes. Matthew looking, trying to control the lasso. It's coming out too late. The stun from Tofu catches before the lasso gets out. Gaming Gladiators played that perfect.
That could not have gone any better, man. Small was going for the ultimate play from that ramp, but the vision placed on the high ground there from Tofu gets the ward on the pillar. And that just went from potentially the greatest Leshrac start to an engagement to the absolute worst that you could have. And then Pakaz stuck near that ancient camp. He couldn't get through. He was like trying to find a way left and right. And then Celery, despite being doomed, was body blocking there. So Whisper couldn't get to the ramp. He was trying to escape. But he just got blocked left and right there. And that's just a 5-hero wipe.
Really impressive stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think about how different that fight looks if Lesh even, not even Bloodstone, but just gets Pulse Nova off. I don't think he had it at the start of the fight.
No, he did nothing. He just Edict. That's it.
Man. Well,
he still did
huge.
1,100 damage.
Yeah. That was impressive. And again, whereas I feel like you know, you kind of had to go for these items on Whisper. His lack of farm is really hurting him. Panda's going to die. Tombstone up on the high ground. It's immediately going to get taken out. They all got to run. Whisper trying to escape, but they're in. Kaz finds Tofu. Look at how tanky this lion is. Took 5 hits or so there. Can he bring down Quinn? I'm not so sure. Maybe. The chase. Good catch there on the gate. They relocate him back a little bit. Meanwhile, the lasso connects on the south side of the fight. Trying to take down Celery. Pakaz keeps the hits going. Maybe this is working. No chrono up online means that they can just swipe away. See Smile trying to chase down Quinn along with Pakaz. They find him there, burning him low, and now they're about to run out of the God Strength. Have to back away. Panda's respawned. Duracchio's still beating on these guys. And Matthew, too, gonna die up on a cliff. So, a bit of a strange engagement there. A lot of heroes dying. It kind of ends up a bit more even.
Part of the problem is they have yet to find a Sven fight where there's just vision and he gets to jump and he gets to do his like 3 or 4 swings for free out of his stun. And that's really what the hero needs to succeed. I mean, he's just being chased around. He's going to be forced to TP.
Good recognition. Chrono, back up again. And, I mean, EG, I think that they have better fights ahead than what we saw there on that bottom side, but...
They're going to chase him. Oh, Panda, run!
No, Panda! Quinn. Hello, sir. But I do kind of... I'm really worried about Doom's lack of farm.
Yeah, he's not scaling. Not often you see as the lowest core, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The Lincoln spheres are done, so has to hit a purge into a Doom. And I mean, it is why, you know, if you find him catch Celery, it can be a pretty nice pick there, but it's also not an insta-gib. Duracchio runs through the portal.
I think that the best case scenario for EG is defending, because that's the best chance you're going to get to open up a Sven fight, where you see the enemy first because they're like sieging a tower or something. And if you look at their heroes, they're very good on the back foot. You're going to have this Blink Lasso to catch someone. You're going to have the Doom, hopefully getting Blink at some point. But even just, you know, it's obviously much more likely you actually get a Doom target off. If they're the ones who are advancing into you. So, Game Gladiators, the step 1 of how to play lame and win the game is to get Roche. And the truly lame strat right now is to not even go high ground. Like, take some tier 2s, but even with this lead right now, I do not think there's any reason to go high ground as Game Gladiators.
Well, Game of Gladiators, they at the very least are going to find these opportunities to get pickoffs, and the relocate game is strong. Matthew trying to escape, but there is no escape from that. This gets brought down with a quickness.
And a bit of vengeance here from Ace as he eyes up the halberd.
Dire's top tower is
Wants
under
to
attack.
show EG how frustrating it can be.
Radiant's middle tower is
You know what actually could be kind of huge, though, if they can get it, is if he can finish this Silver Edge on Pakaz, connecting onto the Underlord. That might be their ticket forward, because the Atrophy Aura does destroy them.
is under attack.
Oh, Duracchio.
Oh.
Is it going to be a
Spooky.
Duracchio death, or is he going to get a pick off? Does he smile?
50-50.
Oh, run. Got to get out of there. Tofu finds him. Yeah.
Kaz is just out.
Wait, Bloodstone? He wants to save the Chrono. Oh, Matthew! Blinked right into it. What a sick Chrono, but a save from Panda. Don't think it's going to matter. Whisper dies on the other side of the map. It is all falling apart. They did take down Celery.
He's still alive.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue there. Now, on the other side, Quinn barely gets away with the win there. He almost got killed off by Pakaz, but a outplay going on.
Is under attack.
Just a casual 4,000 damage there from Razor. You know, just normal stuff.
Dire's Dire's top tower has
Oh yeah,
fallen.
other fights. Sorry, it doesn't show. But in the Sven death summary is what I was looking at. It was a 1v1. You know. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeez, man.
Stuff. It's a big number.
Razor does just, I mean, obviously, if Sven can get some free hits away and if he has other people there to stun him, Razor will get swapped up. But, I mean, this hero counters Sven if he is left on the one-on-one. Or rather, Razor counters Sven. Yeah, that's what I said.
There it is.
Nailed it. Mid. Lesh. Found. Bloodstone. Good heals. Quinn. Still chasing in with the DD. Yeah, you do not want to fight this guy right now. DD on Quinn. Lasso pulls him in. And then saved by the tombstone. I'm not sure if that's the way they wanted it to go. Things falling apart for EG in this game, too. I think that right now, Gaming Gladiators are sending a message. Don't take our Lesh. God dang it. Because...
This is very impressive. I think maybe it's time to just ban Io for your first pick, guys.
Yeah. They take down Kaz. 3 heroes dead very rapidly. Gaming Gladiators trying to close this one out now. And Whisper, nowhere left to go. It's going to get bopped.
Like I said, no reason to go high ground here. Yeah, if you are walking them down and getting kills and solo kills
GG.
across the map, they certainly did not need to play too lame in this one. Worthy call there from EG. Never really having much of a shot in this one, it felt like. Maybe when the blink timing came out from Matthew, if they were a little bit more successful, or if they could ever actually get some solid vision down to advance further onto Game Gladiators side of the map and get like a Sven grab, but that never happened.
Right. Well, and you can see there were a couple of moments like this where things were looking like, okay, they're finding pickoffs, but it was very much just a playstyle wise, and this, I think, was the biggest fight. If C-Smile, big thing, if Tofu doesn't get that ward up in time, if instead that starts with the tombstone on the high ground, maybe you've got a chance there. But I think there's something to be said for just like, don't try and play the hero that Quinn knows the best in the game against him, because you're going to get razored. And even if he has a bad time in lane, he's going to catch back up eventually. And this hero, it's a good answer.
Yeah, I would say so. A little bit absurd how good it looked in this one. So, I don't know. I think it's over. We just ban Isle. I think they have now proven it. Don't give it to him second pick or first pick, I think, at this point. I think it's time to just let it go. But it is a group stage, so this is when you want to be doing these things. You just certainly don't want to be doing it in the lower bracket if you happen to run into Gaming Gladiators. But they're trying to make it very, very clear that this is not what you want to do.
Not even in the least bit. Well, and they sent a message, that's for sure. It does end up with a 1-1, which I think is pretty cool. This is a very competitive group stage. You've got all of the best teams in the world playing in it. Gaming Gladiators have proven that they're the best team in the world, but Evil Genius is also showing, hey, we're no slouches either. So an impressive stuff. We've got a little bit of a break as we get ready for our next series, which is going to be Talon versus Aster. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a few with Riyadh Masters 2020.